Hi, I'm Myron.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is our van, Winter the Sprinter.
So we'd moved over to the UK from New Zealand and we were living in London and travelling whenever we could, but we didn't feel like we were travelling enough, so we started looking into cheap ways to travel and came across VANLIFE, and so we bought an empty van, converted it.
So as you come into the van, you come into the kitchen. Straight away we have our fridge. It's just a normal 240 volt fridge that runs off an inverter. We did have to install a larger battery bank and an extra solar panel to do so, but it worked out a lot cheaper. It's only a £150 fridge and it's worked really well on the road. Big freezer, big fridge. Next to that we have our sink with our lovely big black tap that we can pull off, spray down if you need to. Nice worktop and IKEA cabinets. Lots of drawers, storage and everything. We've put these little hooks on, which took us about 5 months of trying all the different types of invisible baby locks and different kind of locks to find one that worked for us, and these ones work. And then when we get to a campsite, we just flick them off and then we can open the drawers as normal, and then when you go on the road, just flick them back on and then they're locked. So the cooker's on the other side. It's a Thetford oven and hob. We have 3 hobs on the top and an oven and grill in here. It's a nice and big oven. You can cook a pizza in there, whatever you want. It's really nice. So we've taken the bulkhead out, and above the cab area we've installed this storage where we keep some spare water bottles and we stuff all our bedding in during the day. On the other side we have a bookshelf with all our books that we like to read on the go. It gives the van a nice bit of colour as well. So the water tanks are kept underneath. We have an 80 litre freshwater and a 50 litre grey water. The fresh water is pumped up through a pump, goes through 2 filters before being pumped up through the tap into the sink, which runs back down into the grey water tank underneath the van. The LPG is also stored underneath the van where the spare wheel used to be. We ran out of space underneath the van, so we had to take out the spare wheel and install the LPG tank there, and that's what runs the oven. Above the kitchen we have 2 overhead storage cabinets for all our food. We got jars for these ones, but we had to put rubber bands around them to stop them rattling around because that gets quite annoying when you're on the road. And we also have a Fiamma extraction fan that can pull air in or out, which is really great because it's above the oven, so it kind of sucks all the fumes out and keeps the place a bit drier. We would have loved to have had installed 2 fans, one at the front, one at the back. That way this fan could extract and the other one could blow air in to kind of get air to move throughout the van. That's one thing that we would have loved to have done.
So this is our seating area. We went for a seat that converts into a bed rather than a fixed bed because we work on the road, so we wanted a nice big table, and yeah, we really enjoy it. It folds, this table lowers and the cushions come in and it makes a super king bed. It's, you know, probably a bit too big, but Myron's really tall, so we can't sleep the width of the bed, we have to sleep the lengthways, and it just ended up the bed being this big. And underneath the bed is loads of storage. So all along one side we have our batteries and our fuse box and inverter and stuff like that. And then along the other side we keep stuff like laundry and out of season clothes and any like outside activity kind of stuff. We've got a fire pit in this one. So above the bed we have cupboards. We've got 2 each, so my clothes are all on one, Myron's on the other, and then we've got shoes and bags in another, and then this one, I don't even really know what this one holds. It's a bit of a junk cupboard and board games and stationery and stuff like that.
So it's just 2 knobs at the bottom that we turn to lower down the bed. Pops into place. We add in a little bit here to make it easier to get in through the table. Side cushions move in. And we have our lovely Super King bed. So when we first moved into the van, we wanted to cook with electric and not have an LPG system. It worked really well through spring, summer and autumn, but then winter came and there wasn't enough solar, so we did have to swap to an LPG system for that reason. The LPG is great because you get to just cook forever as long as you want kind of thing, and having the oven is another benefit as well. To power the induction hob, we have 400 watts of solar on the roof and a 450 amp hour lead acid battery array. We also have a 2,500 watt inverter. It is a 2,000 watt hob, but we usually only run it on around 800 to 600 watts.
Just living off savings at first, and then we were like, no, we want to do this longer, so we started looking for freelance work, and I had a few things, and then we came back here, worked, but now I'm working remotely, so I get to work on the road, so we should be able to travel indefinitely. We spent the last few months working in the UK, so we could save up and get back to Europe, where we're going next month.
Yeah, we travelled as much as we could until funds kind of ran quite low, and then we had to come back to the UK, work for 4 months, and now ready to go back on the road again.
I think we thought it would be fun because we wanted to travel and we wanted to see stuff, and it was going to be a cheap way to do it, but we didn't think we'd like van life itself and want to do it more long term. We're thinking now we could do this for 5 years and happily enjoy it. Yeah, there are hard things, things like turning your tap on. If you have no water, you have to go fill it up. It's more complicated, whereas in a house water just keeps running. But I don't know, I think
the freedom and the pros that you get are just amazing.
Yeah, it just outweighs the cons by far.
Usually go to a campsite or an air once a week, and that's just to get fresh water, drop off grey water and freshen up the van. But then the rest of the time it's just freedom camping anywhere around whatever countryside we are.
Wild camping, like in the wild, like mountains, beaches. But we city camp, like stealth camp in urban areas because this is like a travel trip for us, and we're on the other side of the world to where we'll end up eventually. We want to see as much of the tourist sites as we can, so we do go into a lot of cities and just find quiet neighborhoods to park up in, and we kind of sleep wherever we can. I think when we first moved into the van, we spent a lot of nights kind of like hearing a noise and like peeking out our window thinking we were going to get in trouble. I don't know who we thought we were going to get in trouble with, but you kind of, especially with stealth camping, you think you're doing something wrong or illegal, and I guess in some places you are, but most places you're not. And now it's quite funny, like we close our curtains, we get the iPad out and watch Netflix. So our channel is Hannah and Myron on YouTube, and
she's Hannah, I'm Myron.
Oh my God. And we make videos about van life and traveling, and we've done a bit of van build stuff, like showing how we installed our diesel heater and our gas system. Yeah, that kind of stuff. We just film what we're doing on the road.
I hope you enjoyed that content. If you hadn't noticed, we do have an ebook that we sell, and the link is just in the description. It contains 160 pages crammed full of practical advice, walkthrough information, electronic schematics and part lists, which will make your job a lot easier for doing a van conversion, and it will save you time and money. Also, we've created special videos for the ebook which enable you to see walkthroughs for how to do loads of things in a van conversion. So that's for water systems, for your electrics, for how to do simple woodwork joints that anyone can do. I really believe that anyone, regardless of their experience, can make a half decent van conversion. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you watching our content, and we put a lot of effort to make it interesting, informative, and find those cool projects that feature on our channel. Consider subscribing, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.